So, hi, I'm Petra, and this video is about how to prepare and handle your own awakening process. So, how to go through and handle your own awakening process. So, I am Petra, and I have been professionally full-time researching and studying the world around us and in us, both on the inner planes and outer planes, and my life's mission is to share everything I know to be true with you in a way that is condensed, distilled and simplified and made easy to understand and digest in order to help you on your own spiritual awakening journey. This Earthpuzzle channel is dedicated to Earth, planet Earth and humanity, and it has been created with an intention to help those who are just starting their process to quickly and easily understand the very, very complex and complicated things around us, to help other truth seekers and awakening humans to gain a solid, practical, grounded and completely truthful and accurate understanding about what is going on Earth right now during the time of collective awakening and planetary ascension and liberation. So how to prepare the process? There's some things that's different for everyone and some things that's the same for everyone. What's the same for everyone most probably is the fear, the confusion, the shock, the panic, the going insane, disbelief, and the complete dissolution of your old false self that is called the third dimensional negative ego. It's a false software overlay program on your real self that has been grown on you and programmed on you just in order for you to be able to stay alive and function in this false matrix, false system and false reality around you. So if you are living in a system of lie and everything is a lie around you and everyone is playing an act in a false theater played by actors who are all playing the roles of liars and lying. Everyone is lying to themselves and to each other, so everything is based on lies. Then of course it's not your true spiritual soul self that is going to be in front, but it's gonna be a mask, a false mask you are wearing, false program sets, and that is your false third dimensional negative ego. So everyone has to prepare for the dissolution of their false third dimensional small self-identity, and that's everything from your name, your religion, your sex, your nationality, your language, even your planetary identity, meaning most of us are much vaster, much bigger, much older, much more ancient, and we are just much more than just a simple random human on planet Earth. We have come from several places and we are magnificent, immortal, light and sound based divine creator beings. Why you need to prepare? In order to not go completely crazy and end up as a bum on the street. So this happens to lots of us, being bums on the street, and it's just temporary. What is going to happen when you awaken is that you're going to be put under divine order and divine law and divine structures and divine energies, and everything that's false and that keeps you rooted in falsity, that is going to be pulled out from under you. That means your career, money, relationships, just your sense of self in general. But So it means like as if it seems like as if you are losing things, but in reality you are being purified and stripped for things that are actually harmful for you. For example, let's say you are still in your asleep third dimensional reality, and you have a certain set of friends. But sometimes those friends are not only not your real friends who have a beneficial and healthy, life-giving impact on you, but sometimes they are not even, don't freak out, okay? I'm gonna say this, but don't freak out. Sometimes they are not even real humans, meaning there's something different in them. They are not safe real humans. That's one example. Or sometimes they are just not your level. They are never going to be awakened. They are always going to stay slaves in the prison system, because in this lifetime it's just not hey, so the camera battery died, so I was at for example, how to prepare for the changes and why you need preparation. And for example, this is one thing that happens, is that when you start your real awakening and liberation process, and when you start to get liberated from mind control and from the evil control matrix and the mental imprisonment that's around you, one thing that happens is that if your families or friends or people around you don't want to come, then you're going to be separated from them. This means that old relationships will fail, or you're gonna be more distant, you're gonna get distance for them, because when the true spiritual self, the true love, and this was my cat sneezing, when the true love and truth vibration, so this means the true divine forces are intervening in your life, and they start to steer you on your best and most beneficial life path, and others around you don't want to go or are not ready to, or it's for some other reason they want to stay where they are, or they don't hear the call of source, of consciousness, of love, energy, of, let's say, this cosmic intelligence, then you tend to be separated from them, and you, as your vibration changes, then your surrounding changes too, and this is always a good thing. So for example, one thing to prepare yourself for is some time to spend alone, because especially if you are also those who are ready to face the dark and the hard, and of course it's your own higher self and creator intelligence who decides what's happening to you and how you are going through your process. But for example, I myself have lived through several isolation phases. I myself have lived through several rounds of stripping my present reality off of me. I have rebuilt my life and circles several times, and after every loss, only better things came. Can you do it alone? Of course, you could, you can, if you want to, but given the fact of the DNA and consciousness damage and the dumbification, the mind control trauma, what we as a collective have went through and have suffered and are still suffering today, it's very rare, it's very, very rare that one person without any outside help from more advanced and more developed beings could do it. And it's because we as a race, as a collectively and as an individual, we have just about lost any sort of spiritual senses, higher sensory perception, intuitive abilities, empathy, sensitivity, feeling ability, any kind of mental, emotional, spiritual ability, skill, senses. We just about lost them, as well as we lost everything that's related to the ability of sensing truth, of embodying and opening our heart, being in connection with our body, just being alive. And this is why they say that humanity is dead, and this is why this is a death culture, because a sensitive soul, a sensitive being and a sensitive body, you just cannot be sensitive in a world where everything around you is designed to harm and kill and slow kill and imprison you. And it is truly that, like everything around us. But this torture, I mean the city systems, but this energetic and physical and all levels attack and harm and harmful, evil, dumbification intention around us from the false artificial intelligence system, it's so big and so old that we have become completely used to it, completely numb to it, and completely insensitive. So we as a race are collectively dead and insensitive. And when you start to awaken, it's like you're a baby, like you really are a baby. You can't even, you just started to feel and sense, but you don't have a vocabulary, you don't have a dictionary, you don't even have words or descriptions. Your little mind cannot put a word to the different phenomena you have started to feel, because no one ever told you that this exists, and you all of a sudden you started to feel and sense, and you don't understand. I mean, your little mind, of course your higher self does, but you also have, like, you have your smallest self and you have your higher self, and the smallest self doesn't get it because you don't have a vocabulary or a frame of reference to it. And this is why, of course, you could do it alone. I guess there are some yogis or whatever saints who have done it alone, but most of us need help. And I myself have gotten help too, and because I have been so blessed and just so blessed to have found my own specific soul group and family of consciousness that helped me and saved me from going crazy. Otherwise, there is a real chance that someone goes crazy, because if you are not in the good hands, or if you fall in some kind of trap, or if you go down the path of false modalities, there is a real danger that you do go completely crazy when your senses, when you start to see what is around us. So protect yourself from the traps. So this is very important. Everyone is different. The souls, the spirits, the consciousnesses, the calibers, the levels of intelligences are different. And so again, I have to say what I have already said, is that we are going through a planetary collective awakening. The evil dark forces who have been keeping humans and planet under imprisonment. So the evil dark forces have known, they knew and they know that this process is happening, and they knew that this would happen. And they have prepared. So we are in a war in a very sophisticated, very, very, very high level, very advanced, multi-dimensional spiritual war, And in this war, of course they knew that this would happen, so they have prepared themselves with false teachings, false gurus who are using the half truth, half lies, or the truth, purely truth, but they are still backed by evil. So the evil forces have prepared with the false New Age, false Luciferian, false spiritual, false gurus, modalities, teachers, movements, institutes, whatever, but they have prepared in advance, years, hundreds, thousands of years in advance, they have prepared for this specific time in the form of the false ones out there who are teaching false Luciferian esotericism, and there's a lot of them, a very, very big number of them, and they are traps. And that's one thing that they always want to steal from us. That's always one thing. They always go, they have always gone, they always go for one specific thing that they want to steal from us. It doesn't matter for them if you are a New Age. It doesn't matter to them if you are this religion, that religion, left wing, right wing, transhuman, New Age, yoga, Hindu, whatever. The only one thing it and they, infected by the AI, it want from us, and that thing is our energy and our holographic, creative God spark. Because we are the creators, we create, we can create, and they or it can't. So it, or the artificial consciousness and the artificial reality and the artificial entities who know the truth, they know everything, they have the highest level of knowledge that they have stolen from us, but we are amnesiac. So it can present to you the highest level of truth, but it is still only going for your energy. So these are all traps, and I will name and I will call out many, and I will be discussing them and how they lie, because I know the war. I have been studying, researching, experiencing. I have been in the war myself for a long, long time. I have gone through, I have exposed myself to several people, several modalities. I really, like I said, this is my life's mission. That means I am just about an almost complete full-time researcher, studier, experiencer of truth, bodies of works, information and modality, and most out there are not organic and not heart-based and is not coming from the good ones. Prepare yourself for a lifetime process, for a process of a lifetime. So, I have been there when I thought, when I overvalued myself and overvalued my embodiment or level of development, and I have been there where I still had layers of false, like instead of the random 3D negative third dimensional ego, of course, first you develop a false spiritual ego that still has any sort of aspiration or wants to be this and then blah, blah, blah. Point is, it's not only a lifetime of process, but it's a lifetimes of process, and this regaining back your full self after tens or thousands of years of war and trauma and what just really has happened on this planet, on other planets, in this solar system, in this galaxy, in this universe, healing from this on an individual level as well as on the collective level, it's going to take a lifetime, and it's going to take lifetimes. So our own personal healing and coming back to our real senses and embodying and understanding and being able to navigate all of your levels, everything from the third dimensional all the way to the whatever 12 dimensional liquid light state of your being, it takes a lifetime, because we had lifetimes of trauma. And just think about what, and when it comes to the healing of the process of the collective, of the planet, of Mother Nature, and all the what has all the ugly and disgusting and soul killing, dirty death prisons that are cities today. So rebuilding the entire planet, rebuilding the entire system is also going to take lifetimes. So we have to prepare ourselves for it and practice patience. So yeah, so this was Earthpuzzle number 4. And as always, there's a blog for this video. I'm going to link it, and I'm also mentioning the mentor group, the Earthpuzzle Mentorgroup, where we go much deeper in the deep study, deep healing, deep processing, where I have lives every week and there's a question and answer, and that's the theme of building the equals. So yeah, and see you soon.